special guest, none other than Dullian from Dullian TV. Dullian,
what's up, guys?
Welcome, my friend. How the heck are you doing?
I am great, El Toro. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got dressed up for you, so you can see here, and Colby's got his tie, and even Joker has a black tie.
Yes.
Yeah. So, talk to us, man. You've had a crazy journey, and I know you and I have talked quite a bit. I still don't know half of it, but I want to hear it, man. So give us a rundown on Dullian's gaming, history, Yu-Gi-Oh, all the way to Digimon.
You know what? How much time do we have?
You got plenty of time, my friend.
I think with Yu-Gi-Oh, if we're going to talk content, are we talking content creator or just the game in general?
Just the game in general,
Okay. I've actually played Yu-Gi-Oh since 2001. The year it came out was a very big influence in my life. Then I kind of disappeared when XCs came out, and I came back right before Lynx, and I wanted to play tunes because I had always loved tunes from Magic Ruler, and as many of you know, that it isn't apparent. And next thing I know, I'm like, what are pendulums? What do you mean you're going to drop all this on me? I had never seen these cards, and XCs, and I was just basically a GOAT player who came back after like 10 years, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work for me. So I disappeared again, and then I think it was Maximum Prices, True Draco, whenever True Draco was out. Zoo format, tail end of Zoo. So I played that, hand traps. I had to learn the game basically all over. Then Lynx got introduced, and I was at was it a YCS? YCS Vegas, I want to say. And when I came back home, I was just in a special place. So I just disappeared from Yu-Gi-Oh for a while.
Yeah.
And then I came back pre-COVID, and I was like, playing Yu-Gi-Oh anyways, because I was playing it on YGO Pro and collecting cards, and playing the Thunders, and rest in peace Colossus. That guy's never seen the light of day again. He's in his cave, crawled, his tail. Anyways.
So, it can stay.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's about time I met you, El Toro. I met Kobe. I don't know that I met you. We may have talked. I've met Unfound Prodigy. So, cool guy. Where is he, by the way? I just realized that.
He is still in the Shadow Realm. Joker banished him, and he hasn't. We ended up getting called by the grave last week when Colby tried to Monster Reborn him. So he's
not coming back.
It is with great regret to inform you, Monster Reborn did not work. I'll try Call of the Haunted next.
So I met LT, and we did our collab like shortly after, whenever Eternity Code came out. And,
that was actually interesting how we started talking more. I remember I was sitting down going through, and I had started following you, saw you on YouTube. You opened like a big old case of, I can't remember what it was, and I was going through the stories. And I think you were coming out with it was maybe a video or something, and it had a yes or a no. And I accidentally hit no because I was scrolling through. And then you messaged me and says, why not? With an LOL. I said, oh man, I'm so sorry. And so from then on, we kind of just hit it off. And then of course you approached me about doing that collaboration, which was probably one of the most fun times I've had, going back and forth with those videos.
That was, you know what? I don't know how much I think the audience appreciated it, but personally, making those videos and the little vignettes, oh my God, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Smacked in the head, making that music video.
That was good. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, we were surprising each other quite a bit with that. And then the end result, I think we gave them what they wanted. We got the Starlight, we got the 3 secret rares.
Oh my God, yeah, Tech Failure. That's right. Yeah, that was nuts. Yeah. And then you did your little Eye of the Tiger? What song was it? That video was hilarious. You had Kobe.
Oh yeah, that was
hilarious.
No Retreat, No Surrender. From the movie No Retreat, No Surrender.
That video was hilarious. But that was a good time. And honestly, I think I started making mats, and I got my guys and my team, and I started building it. And I was like, you know what? This could go somewhere. And I started talking to bigger influencers, and it's sad. I'm not going to drop any names. Yeah. Some of them were supportive, but majority of them don't want to share their spotlight. And I get it. Yu-Gi-Oh's been around for a long time. They've done it for a long time. Credit to them. But, I'm the type of person, if somebody needs help or wants to learn something, my door is always open, my office, my phone,
oh yeah.
I'm a giving person when it comes to community. And I don't just give just because, I want to show off. I give because I came from a less fortunate place. And I know how it feels to not be able to afford these things. Card games are expensive. So I give. Like, if I have, and you guys give. Like, I see it all the time, and it's awesome. And it's not, you don't give for the pride of it. You just do it. And, you know, these bigger YouTubers, I don't know how much publicity this will get, but these bigger YouTubers, Yugi tubers, I should say, they just give when a new set comes out, which is cool. They can do, you know, it's their platform. They do whatever they want. But
yeah,
I just feel it's hard. How can I word this? I just think they could do more with their publicity and their connections.
Yes,
they could do way more. That's all I'm saying. One box.
Yeah.
I give out a box. It's a joke. I give out 3 boxes. Come on, you're making way more from monetization and all these ads, but come on. Anyways, I think it's a slap in the face. So it was towards, what was in November? There was a set in November. It was the Live Twins, and I was getting mad at Yu-Gi-Oh because cards were going down. I think it was Toon Chaos. Toon Chaos was the set that ticked me off.
You and me both, my friend.
And I think everyone remembers this. And we can blame COVID, we could blame Konami, we could blame whoever you want. But I took it personal. I was like, why in the world is this box $150? It's not even a major set. It was because it's not even a core set. What do they call them? Like mini sets? And I was like, this is
deck set.
Yeah. And I was furious. And I play Toon, so I spent several thousands building that deck at max rarity. Let's just leave it at that.
I remember we were supposed to do a follow-up collaboration leading up to a battle because we even left it as a cliffhanger on our other video. Yeah. I remember opening my box and going, what? And you were the same thing. You were like, oh man, this is awful. You know, Toon Chaos. We got way more chaos than Toons. And
it was 100%.
Yeah.
So I was furious. And then
the set was a chaotic mess.
Yeah. I was happy with the Toon support finally. And it helped with my mat and then the design and all that. But I had more fun making accessories than I did to get to play the deck. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That was the sad part. And it shouldn't be that way for somebody who played this game from the beginning. So as I observed it from a business side, I was like, man, this is really going downhill for me. You know, the game's obviously there. It'll still be there regardless of what I choose to do. And right around that time, I was hearing talks of Digimon. I was like, hey, I remember this game from middle school. Yeah, that's how old I am. I remember this game from middle school. So I was like, I couldn't afford Pokemon at the time, so I was buying Digimon. I remember it vividly. Mm-hmm. And I bought the first set, and I watched the cartoon, and I was like, this is awesome. And for whatever reason, a few years later, it fizzled. So that's what happens when Upper Deck runs games, I guess. But when I got word of it, I tried to pre-order it through locals, and it was hard to get. Or it wasn't hard to get. I take that back. It was a pre-release. I signed up with the next set that was hard to get. And I was pumped. And I got these starter decks. And I don't know if it was just the fact that when I opened the starter deck, I saw a booster pack, and I was like, what the heck is this? There's a booster pack in my starter deck for free? Cool. And I pulled some like $50 card. I was like, that's it. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. So, and I only need 2 starter decks versus 3. Okay, and it's the same MSRP, so I was like, done. And the booster packs, you get like a box topper. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Digimon. And to me, this was like, I'd spent all this money on Yu-Gi-Oh! And now I get to enjoy Digimon with spending less money, and it's fresh. And there's interaction, let me tell you. There's interaction. Remember the whole pendulum thing and XCs and hand traps, 2-3 turns? To spend thousands of dollars to play for 15 minutes? Okay. While my opponent makes some 20-card combo and then Viru's me, or I need Viru him. So I was just like over it at that point. Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I was like, the interaction. And sure, Digimon's in the beginning. People want to point that out to me. Yeah, every game has a beginning stage. But I'm enjoying it. And I made the decision in December to make the shift, and almost a year now. No, it was September. Anyways, whatever. It was almost a year. And I was pumped. So you can tell by the excitement. So I made a mat. I shifted my whole channel. I was scared. It was hard to get those subscribers. I was terrified they were going to run away.
Yeah.
I was like, well, either going to sink or swim. Like, people who know me, if I'm going to deal with failure, we're going to slap it across the face and just get back up. So
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was the change I made. And I'm happy with it. And there's a huge community growing. And I got monetized from Digimon in less time than for the years I had put in for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I thought that was insane. And I was like, there might be something here. This might be. So
it is. It's huge, and I think you and I have talked about it in the past. You see everybody, the smaller YouTube channels, they're trying to mimic the bigger guys, but that's already been done, so you're never going to get sponsored unless you're doing something. I've seen people opening packs underwater, and trying to do something different. Yeah. I love the guy, and he's trying to do something different, and you got to admire that he's trying. Yeah. If you're going status quo, then again, it's hard.
I remember talking to him too, and this is for any, not just Yu-Gi-Oh, any person who wants to open a YouTube channel. It's probably already on YouTube, but why are they better than you? And what are you gonna do to differentiate yourself? That's what a lot of people ask me is like, hey man, what did you do? Why do you wear a suit? A lot of people don't realize I wear a suit because I came from, it's gonna be leaked here on the internet for the first time. I mean, it privately. I worked for Mercedes-Benz for 8 years.
Yep.
And I wanted, you dress nice I would even yell at my staff like, hey, you guys gotta dress up for these people. They're spending thousands of dollars. The point is, when I started a YouTube channel, before I went live, I literally made a list. I have a list somewhere. I should have brought it. Didn't know we were going to get on it. And I wrote down everything that YouTubers do to be successful. I just studied channels for like a month. And then I literally, okay, they wear backwards hats and hoodies. I'm going to dress up. They don't do their hair. I'm going to do my hair. They don't have facial hair, most of them. I'm going to grow my beard like bigger than it was already there. So yeah. They don't give away. I'm going to give away. I literally made a list, and I share this with chickens. I'm calling chickens here. I'm like, dude, just do the complete opposite. You can't stand out if you're going to be the same thing. Why are people going to care to come to you? And I think that was the biggest. At the end of the day, I found that list when I decided to shift from Yu to Digimon, and I was like, what are you afraid of? You did it before. Like, the hell, you just go. I say no? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I decided, I was like, you just have to do the complete opposite if you're going to stand out, or why even try if you're just going to blend in? That's my mindset. So that's food for thought.
To your credit, you've done a phenomenal job of standing out. If you compare yourself, and even in the Digimon community, it's still growing, and you have content creators, and you and I've talked about a few of them. You still have the bigger ones who are a little bit insecure as far when it comes to collaborations. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these bigger content creators will, I don't want to say steal, but they will steal ideas from small creators. And
I have had YouTubers steal my ideas that I talk to them privately. We're not going to say any names because I've discussed it with you, but it's embarrassing.
Yep.
It's freaking embarrassing.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to do it, more power to you. I'll come up with another idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it looks like a replica.
Mister.
Yeah.
Mister.
Well, let's talk Digimon, Dullian. And I know Joker had
somebody
a
say
question.
best deck.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Best deck, you say?
We got to throw in the little rivalry going here. War Rocks versus now Ignister.
Yeah, because I should have brought my tune sign.
There you go. So, but Joker, I know you had a question for Dullian regarding one of the decks. Am I right? Go ahead.
Right. So I've been hearing people talk about in certain locals that D Brigade is trash, but some people are actually praising D Brigade.
Man, don't mention that deck. I missed top cuts at a huge event this past weekend because I lost that deck in the last round.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, now, with D Brigade the way that it is, do you think that it would be fine as is, as a pure deck, or would it be better off with decks like purple or maybe red? Just with D Brigade.
So here's my point. Here you go. I'm literally building the deck. That's how angry I got.
Oh,
I was so mad. I am personally building it as a black deck. This is the card that Joker's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like their boss monster, one of them. Anyways, I would build it personally black. That's how I'm building it. I have the luxury, and I call it a luxury because I'm blessed. There's actually a TCG con, if you guys can believe it. I never even knew these things existed, happening in Tampa, Florida today, and I was furious that I couldn't be there. A lot of the biggest players in Digimon are there, and they happen to be from my local. So I get to bounce ideas off these guys every week. Like, people don't realize the videos I upload weekly, these are some of the best players in the nation. I happen to have them in my backyard, and it's huge. So I've actually discussed the D Brigade deck with them because
Mm-hmm.
you know how I do. I don't know how many viewers follow it, but I do like a Digi battle, build and battle. I let the community choose the deck I'm going to build and play at local.
Yes.
So I did. I had in that video, I had put like the 7 decks into a new format, and one of these very good players, shout out to Reno, he's like, if you want to win, just build D Brigade. Ain't nobody going to see it coming. They're just gonna, and it's pretty nutty. It's, I think, a pure. There's a lot of purple jumping around right now. I like purple, but black D Brigade pure. If you can pull it off, it's scary.
Nice. Well, there
Pull
you
a deck
go.
off, pull a deck off and win because nobody expects it. That sounds
Yep.
oddly familiar.
I like. Yep. There you go. That's Colby style. Now, talk to us about the. I mean, obviously, I know the Switch has gone well for you. In the community, do you see a lot of players who have switched from Yu-Gi-Oh also, or are they just kind of old players that were just kind of woke up and said, "Hey, Digimon's back"? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a mixture of both. It's a little interesting because I've seen a lot of the smaller channels that you and I were working with have shifted towards that way. And I'm sure you guys have seen, I don't know if they've done it fully or partially, but I was like, oh, wow, they're doing it too. And I'm happy for them. Like, if they want to dip their feet in it, that's great. Hey, I'll welcome with open arms. They can all come join me. And it's awesome. Like, I just think for people who truly enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh, especially if you have a channel, you want interaction.
Yep.
And the way the meta is, this is where you should put like a meta sheet coming across the screen.
Someone's kicked
The
those.
meta is,
But you look in my corner. The meta
Unless-
comes to me.
unless you have a meta deck, it's not fun. And even if you have a meta deck, I'm gonna tell you to your face, yeah, you want to win, but it ain't fun. Unless you're topping with a deck that isn't expected, it's not enjoyable. So I think that's the fact that people want interaction and they want something fresh, something new, flash in the pan, whatever you want to call it. But it looks like Digimon has set the right track and they're enjoying it at Ignis. And they're enjoying it very much so. And that's how I see it, honestly. I think if you're on Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's stale to you, and you're watching this, come join the Digimon community. We'll enjoy you with open arms.
Excellent. Well,
I'm
thank
lying
you.
there.
Oh, nice.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
your
meta,
black tie over there.
Just for the occasion.
so on the subject of meta, talk to us about Digimon. Is there a meta deck? Are there meta decks? Is it more balanced? I know you said there's a lot of interaction, which is phenomenal. You got me interested already. But is there as big of a gap, as other card games?
The interesting thing is we're in the 3rd booster box in the US, but technically it's the 7th because the way they did it is the first booster box had 3 sets so we could catch up. They literally wanted to catch up with Japan so you could drop them simultaneously across the world, which I think is awesome. And so we're in the 7th set technically. We just switched formats. And right now, I don't think there's a top deck. Right now, literally, because this is I mentioned the TCG Con. There's got to be 200 players there this weekend, maybe 300, maybe more. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty, but what I'm getting at is we're going to know what's running the meta this weekend. So it should be interesting to see what's really going to go in the meta. Last format, there was probably 2 or 3 decks. Green looks like it's controlling the meta right now, but I've only seen it here or there every other week. So I've seen yellow, I've seen pro. There's 6 colors for those who don't know. And there's different decks within those colors. So I've seen a lot of variety. There's got to be at least 6 or 7 decks right now, like top tier decks, which in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have your 1 or 2. It's lucky if you hit a 3rd.
Yep.
So I think that's awesome. And I think that's why the Digimon single market is not crazy. Like their most expensive card right now is $150. And it's sat like that, aside from like a few months ago, it was at 200. But it's stagnant. And I think that's awesome. And I think they're on, and what people don't realize for those who play Dragon Ball Super is it's similar concept to it, I guess, aside from the memory gauges. But they used the Dragon Ball Super game to create this game, and they mixed it with their old game, and I think it's just awesome. So I love the fact that there is no deck that controls the meta. You could see any deck win any week, and it's been like that since I got into it, which is awesome.
That is great. I'm liking this. The more I hear you talk about it, and the more I hear Joker talk about it, and other people. And yes, I do see a lot of the other content creators who are saying, you know what, heck with this garbage. Digimon. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, you sent me the starter pack from, I think it was like a pre-release from Digimon.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I'm like, you get all that from this? I mean, we don't even have sneak peek events anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh!
That was the first Digimon pre-release, which I've already signed up for the next one next month. I'm so excited. Yeah. You get 6 packs, promos, another promo, a pre-release pack, and then the bang for your buck. The value is just phenomenal. Yeah. And I think that alone, and then we had they have a specific format for pre-release, so you can't just come in with your deck. Everyone opens their packs, and whatever you get in your packs, you got to play it. That's it.
That's awesome. I like that.
It's nutty.
So I see the deck box right there.
Yes.
Is that mine? Is that the one that I pre-ordered?
It could be. This is actually the only one that is in existence currently. Yeah. It was a sample that we made, and it was a very expensive sample. You might have to show us on screen. I don't know how well it's going to translate, but that's gold of the original original Digimon starters. And there was a company, we're not going to say their name, even though they don't have a patent on this box, and you guys, or the style of this box, personally asked me, do not produce this box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to put that out here. And I blatantly refused.
Good.
And that just goes back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. Like, people want to monopolize, but I love the box. I love it. The crest, we're not going to get too deep into it. Not going to let them ruin the moment. There's crest on it. It's full leather. If you're familiar with that type of box, it's the exact same box.
Yeah.
It's the exact same box.
And I've seen others, not just that organization, but I've seen a lot of other independent creators creating the same style of box. So, these guys are off their rocker. That's an amazing box. I did pre-order one of those.
Thank you.
And I don't even own a single Digimon card. So maybe that'll be.
I have to send you some in the box.
Ooh, hey, So speaking of, though, collaboration tournament next month. Big. I mean, I saw that the prize potential, half a case. Tell us about the tournament. Tell us about the prizes, man. This is exciting.
Yeah. So I actually partnered up with the Collector's Vault and Ultimate Guard. And Ultimate Guard's a huge company. Ultimate Guard reached out to me. They're like, hey, I had been doing a little work with them. They're like, you want to throw a tournament? We are going to give you the prizing. We want to grow the Digimon community, and we want to spread our product with it. So I don't have the exact, actually, I might have the breakdown on my phone it's a lot of prizing. I mean, we're giving away half a case. It's $15 to enter. It's a half case tournament, top 16 prizing. Wow. This is the third one we're doing, and the first 2 sold out. We capped it at 200. It's nuts. And I think first place walks away with well over almost $1,000 in prizes.
Ooh.
Second place comes close to like 600 or 700. Third place, I think second and third is just like right under that. There's got to be at least $5,000 in prizes. Like it's insane. We'll say $4,000, but it's still a lot of prizes. To enter $15 and you can come away with something, that's insane. So I'm very excited for it.
That is huge. That's going to be a huge event. I know it's going to go over well because obviously you have your following, but you have a lot of people who are switching over. And I think that when they see this potential, this tournament, say, hey, Dullian's throwing this up, and Collector's Vault. I mean, this is big time. Again, I don't see a single one of these big other influencers from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon doing stuff like this. Not even close.
I just want to get back to the community, honestly, LT. And I just want it to grow. I wasn't able. Again, coming from where I came from, I'm sure there's kids just like me growing up. We're less fortunate, and the card game is cheap right now. Like, aside from the shortage, there's a shortage, obviously, but there's a shortage on everything. Yeah. But if you can find it at Target or Walmart or wherever it is at MSRP of $10, or finding a pack for $4 and able to build a deck with just 2 starter decks, I want to be able to give back to those people. I was so angry as a child. I shouldn't say this. That game was taken away from me. I'm going to make sure I make this game stick around this time. I've taken it as my personal. I took it personal last time. So I'm going to make sure this game sticks around. Whatever I got to do to spread awareness of it, I'm going to do it.
Excellent. And, I know that there are several people who are grateful. I tried to do that with the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I first got started. I would open boxes, and it was Battles of Legend, Heroes Revenge. I would open a box, and I would tell the followers, vote on the top 3 cards you'd like to see given away that I pull, and I would give them away. Well, I started giving away. I mean, I must have given away like over 10 boxes of,
Nice.
stuff my first year. But then I had to stop because I was getting a lot of, especially the international. And this is not every international, winner, but there's a lot of people who are complaining. They were messaging me every day. What's the tracking number? Where is it going? Why is it stuck here? Why does the, I don't know. This is a free, I'm giving this to you. I mean, I sent it. Here's your tracking number. So I just got tired of it. I had people that were, just.
It's disappointing because I think anyone who's given away stuff has run into that. I fell victim to it as well. And I shouldn't say that because it's not majority of people, but it's disappointing. When something is free, just wait it out.
Yeah.
Wait it out. Don't go on the internet and start bashing them because the product is stuck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's good. I can definitely appreciate what you're doing, and I may do some more giveaways here and there occasionally, but I do for that exact purpose. We talk about that all the time here on the podcast. The game is getting more expensive. For one thing, it's complex and it's tough for kids to learn, but you can't find it in stores. You have to buy everything, through a distributor now. Now you have these influencers talking about investing. They're buying, thousands and thousands of dollars of product. And again, they don't buy it from the stores. The scalpers already take care of that. But at the same time, it creates a bad trend where smaller channels are going to say, hey, he bought 5,000. Well, I don't have that, but I'm going to use my credit card. I'm going to go buy 1,000. And in a year, I'm able to flip it for 3,000. Doesn't always work like that.
It don't work like that.
Yeah. So
it's disheartening.
Yeah, and they don't mean any harm. I'm sure their intentions are good, but at the end of the day, they are doing harm to the community. They're making it harder for kids to play, and the game eventually will die out. And we're seeing a mass exodus of players going over to Digimon.
Yeah. Hey, and what's sad? I saw it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It's the card they got reprinted. Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
And time of this recording, it's what? A common? Yeah. I see stuff pop up my feed every now and then. I'm like, well, there's $100 card that just tanked, and then that common will be like $25. So that's
we never know what to expect with the game. They'll give you a reprint, everybody gets excited, and then it'll be a short printed somehow, and
could be.
We never know. But I do like Digimon. I like the way it's sounding. So I will definitely be joining that community very
on
soon.
over.
I'm there.
Yeah, you already got Joker on there. We got
Joker already has he's not fully leaving the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but he's getting into Digimon and actually entered a tournament.
Of course not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's still got the magic hands pulling the starlights and the ghost rares.
Nice.
But
Magic kunai.
What else, Dullian? What else did you want to? It's looking like we're winding down on time here, but anything else you want to say?
I think there's a lot going on in the world. We just don't all need to hate each other. We all just need to love each other. There needs to be peace. It's a difficult time in the world. It's actually a unique point in world history, not just American history. And I just think people just need to be, especially in card games, people come to card games just to escape. It's an escape. And we should all be nice, be loving, be caring. You don't know what someone's going through at home.
Yep.
You don't know their psyche. If someone wants to talk, just talk. Would you rather see, God forgive me for saying this, would you rather see that they hurt them off themselves because nobody wanted to talk to them? And it's crazy, especially in the trading card game community. I just heard one of my friend's friends, I didn't know him, he committed suicide. And it's just, we can blame COVID, we can blame this, and everyone just needs to get along. That's just my purpose. I just wish there shouldn't be any hate in the world. And, I support my country or where my family's from, my heritage.
Yeah.
I got some hate for it. It is what it is. Disappointing. And
it's
You won't
unfortunate.
get it here.
And I'm really, and I did donate some money as well to that cause, and it's very, very huge of what you were doing, and no matter what you do, you're always going to have critics, right? I mean, you could go and save kittens from extermination and people are going to criticize you for it, no matter what you do. I mean, people try to save kids literally, and they're getting criticized for it. So, the bottom line is, we like you sent me that quote the other day, and I don't remember it, but basically you do what you're going to do and don't worry about what anybody else is doing, and
when you go in the grave, nobody else is going with you. It's just you.
That's it. There you go. Go.
And it's disheartening. People ask me why I'm so passionate about that cause. I forgot. Thank you for bringing it up, and thank you for your donation. Thank you to everyone who donated during all those charities and live streams. And it's not over. I mean, the world where we are in the United States, they won't put eyes on it. And it's disheartening. And it's not just my country or my family's country. It's also Armenia, it's India, it's China. it's all these countries, and we're not going to turn your show political, but the reason I'm so passionate about it is because of my ethnicity. I actually went there.
Yeah.
I actually went there freshman year, or right the summer of freshman year, before I went to high school. And, you know, as a kid, you're excited. You want to go, and I'm talking about Israel for those who do not understand what I'm referring to. And how old are you when you're in high school? 13 as a freshman? I think 13 or 14. Yep. I can't remember.
13, usually.
Right before puberty. And the reason I remember that vividly is we landed in Tel Aviv, Israel. Mm-hmm. And because of my Palestinian descent, for those who do not know, we were pulled aside when we landed in the terminal. And they took us to the back. Mind you, we had my 80-year-old grandma with me. And this is going to get very sad, and you can edit it out, but the military made my grandma derope. They checked her, make sure she didn't have any weapons, an 80-year-old lady, and any bombs, even though we had just come off of a 17-hour flight. And they checked me. They made me, as a 13-year-old kid, take,
yeah,
my dad, my uncles. It was just nuts. So anyways, then we get in a car. And I'm like, okay, so what now? And, as a 13-year-old kid, you're like, what the heck's going on? And then they finally let us leave after like 6 hours. I remember that. And we had come on a red eye. And, a flight like that's already exhausting.
Yeah, jet lag big time.
We get in a taxi, and we start driving in the hills, like off-road, like if you're on a terrain. And I'm asking my uncle, I'm like, hey, why are we taking the back roads? They're like, oh, because of our heritage. You got to take the back roads. You can't take the main roads. That will get you there in 30 minutes. It turned into a 30-minute drive into a 3-hour drive. But every half hour, we would stop at, it was called a checkpoint. Mm-hmm. And for those who have been to Mexico, there's a checkpoint every now and then. But it's not that kind of checkpoint.
Yeah.
They start putting guns in the car, looking around, putting dogs under the van. They start shaking the van. They start opening your bag. It's pure humiliation. And anyways, after about a week of this, we finally made it to our destination. And it's like that everywhere you go over there if you're Palestinian. And all I could compare it to is the Holocaust. That's all I could genuinely refer it to.
Yeah.
Call it whatever you want. And I have Jewish friends. Don't misunderstand. I have a lot of Jewish friends. A lot of Jewish friends. And they're even speaking up against it because they don't believe in it. And it's more of a humanity thing. It's a humanity thing. And it drives me crazy. So anyways, when I wanted to come home. The reason I mentioned high school is I wanted to come home for high school early. I had left in August and school starts in September. No, school had started in August. I wanted to make it by September. But we had just moved schools. I came home September 9th. We went home, shopped September 9th, 2001. Let me just put that out there. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of millennials that will realize this date. But on September 11th, 2001, it was one of the worst days in American history.
Yep.
Well, here I am. I didn't go to school on the 10th, but I went to school on the 11th, and I woke up late. Didn't watch TV, which we always watch the news in the morning. My dad usually drops me off. And let me give you guys a visual. Imagine Osama bin Laden. That's what my dad looks like. Just like, except not with the whole thing, but just like clothes. Right. And went to school in America, graduated high school. And I get dropped off. It's my first day in high school. Looking around. I don't know where to go. And in California, the way the high schools are set up, they're indoor. You got to open the doors and all the classes are in there. So I go in there and I go to class and we're watching the planes hit the buildings. And as a 13-year-old kid, I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. Yeah. There's only so much. We had family in New York. And when I got home, because we walked home, I was getting ready to turn a corner to cross the street. I got jumped by 7 kids. Just because I have an Arabic name. My name's Abdullah, for those who don't know it. My name's Abdullah. And my dad looks like Osama bin Laden, according to his kids. And one of them, ironically, I was 5'2". We're wrapping up the story, don't worry. I know it's kind of dragging out. I was 5'2", because I hadn't gone through puberty yet, 90 pounds. And this kid's like 6'3", 250 pounds. And then there's 6 others jumping me in front of my house, like across the street. And what am I going to do against 6 people? They're kicking, beating me up. And I'm just like, wow, this is really happening.
Wow. So
a car honks because it's on the street. And as soon as it honks, I roll and just run. And I jump over our gated community and I just go. Well, it turns out I was a teacher and she knew all 7 of those kids. So she reported them. I didn't tell my parents anything, mind you. I didn't want, they had enough stress going on because everything going on in our country that day.
Yeah.
And I go to school the next day, act like nothing happens. Well, the police escort me. I get called out of class. The police come. They start asking me questions. And I had to identify the kids. They all got arrested, they basically got arrested till they were 18 years old. And I forgave all of them, but you don't forget.
Yeah.
And the reason I share this story is from the hatred I've seen overseas and the hatred I've seen, and it was a white supremacist school, but my mom wanted us to go to the best schools so we had better education.
Yeah.
Bless her heart. But I know my story's kind of scatterbrained, but I think you guys are kind of getting what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so passionate about where my family comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And there should be no hate in the world. And that's my story. And that's why I'm so passionate about this thing. And don't misunderstand me. There are bad people in this world. And unfortunately, their actions will highlight and keep memories in your head over the good things that happen. Regardless of how great things are, you're going to always remember those things. But don't let them define you and don't let them mold you. Unless you're going to use it in a positive aspect or a positive light, there's no reason to let it define who you are. So for the people who say, I don't know what's going on, it's just they need to stop bombing, all this. But what are you going to do when they kick you out of your house? They're shaking you. This was what? 2001 was what? 20 years ago?
Yeah.
But how long can people be patient? And there's people been there. This started in the 60s. Like it's crazy. But they can't defend themselves, right? The second they defend themselves, the television turns on and says they're bombing and they're terrorists.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Give me a break. So anyway, research what I'm discussing, and you guys will see it.
I think that this year alone has been an awakening for a lot of people who didn't know, and I've known it for a long time. The media, they will, whatever they want you to see is what you'll see, and unfortunately, most people are easily persuaded to believe that, and it's unfortunate. But again, bottom line, your message, there's too much hate, and really just the more we can become better as individuals and not respond to things in such a negative way. If somebody says something that offends you or does something, again, if it's not that bad, you can walk away, but you can also have a conversation with it. You don't have to use that and promote more violence from yourself. So thank you for sharing that, Dullian. Really, really appreciate that. And, definitely a big topic in the world today. So really grateful for you sharing that with us. Yeah. So as we wrap it up, man, any other Digimon promoting things you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
You know what? Check out my new website. It will officially launch today. I don't know when this website.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a lot of hard work, a lot of expensive money. The deck box will be on there. My new playmat will be on there. My box breaks will be on there moving forward. Anything I promote sale-wise will be on this website. It's just www.dulliantv.com.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Thank you guys for dressing up. I appreciate it.
Hey, man.
Of course.
Thanks for my amigo.
I'm still happy I found the guy that matched my headphones.
Perfect. Man. All right. Well, thank you, Dullian, man. We obviously will be supporting you with whatever you do. I will. And I know these guys as well. And, we'll be following you and hope to have you on again sometime soon, my friend.
Yes, please. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Dullian, you got something exciting to share, man. What is it? Yeah. I'm excited.
So, shout out to my cousin Eli for coming in clutch with this. I am a huge wrestler fan, and this was a video game I actually used to play as a kid. And this actually, what a lot of people, and LT, you probably won't remember it. Before this came to the Super Nintendo, that's the old console. This actually was a physical arcade game that you put quarters in.
Yep.
And I used to play this game. What was it? Oh wow, Nickel Arcade or what? Chuck E. Cheese, wherever it was. I don't remember what it was. This game. So
they had convenience stores, Circle K's, wherever it was. They had little arcades. I remember dumping plenty of quarters in there while my parents put gas and run in and get a quick game in. So, arcades, standalone arcades, Chuck E. Cheese, Peter Piper's, all that stuff. Yes, I did spend. That's amazing. I have that game, just the cartridge, though. That is amazing that you have the box and it's sealed.
I could not. Yeah, shout out to my cousin Eli.
Yes, Eli.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. This is going to fit in my case with my other sealed product. I'm a huge wrestling fan, as many of you know. So
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Well, that's amazing, man. Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan as well, but I'm also a huge retro game collector. So someday I'll
yes, that's right. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So I
So
see
tell me
that,
what-
and my eyes light up. So thanks for sharing that.